Right, so we're about to play our last game in the Champions League group phase, and that is against Bayern Munich in today's episode. But we're also getting towards the end of the transfer window. And personally, I'll be glad when the window does close because Bayern Munich want to buy my entire squad. Okay, so in yesterday's episode, we played Juventus away from home in the Champions League, got a win 1-0 with Christian Spahu. Then we went away again to play Union Berlin and won that game 3-0 thanks to Juan Rios, Armin Zirius and Christian Spahu with a penalty. Since then, we've had the winter break. We had Paderborn straight after Union Berlin and we beat them 2-0 with goals from Aladdin Sahin and Raphael Bode. The game was pretty much wrapped up early doors, but as you can see by this, 16 shots on target, 21 shots at goal, and we only won 2-0. We had an XG of just 2.19. With all of them shots, I'd have expected that to be a lot higher. Freitas was on form with a couple of assists for us and in fact got man of the match for that game. And yeah, I was just very frustrated in this game that we didn't score more than 2 goals. It's the same thing over and over again that I'm repeatedly saying, that we create so many chances, but we're just so wasteful in front of goal. Then we had the international break. We played Heidenheim in a pre-season friendly, basically just put in all of the reserve players with a couple of first teamers sprinkled in for good measure. Won that one comfortably 5-1. Then the first game after the international break was in the Bundesliga away from home again. And we played Eintracht Frankfurt with a 1-1 draw in this game and a goal from Aladdin Sahin. And yeah, as you can see, we had 7 shots on target, 17 shots a goal, 1.65 XG, 67% possession, 89% pass completion. Again, we were the better team. We just couldn't turn it into a win. Freitas with another assist. Like I say, Aladdin Sahin with a goal, but then they equalised through Odeber 2 minutes before the end of the game. That was actually their first shot on target. They then had a second shot on target about a minute or two later. So yeah, I was highly frustrated again in that game. Then we played Wolfsburg, who we lost against earlier on in the season. If we come up here, we lost 3-2 to them away from home earlier on in the season. This time round, we managed to turn it around, have a 3-0 win on our hands. 2 goals from Juan Rios, one in the 38th minute and the eventual last goal in the 93rd minute. Freitas with a goal in the 64th minute. Espinosa getting a couple of assists as well, and Juan Rios getting a goal disallowed. 11 shots on target, 29 shots at goal. That's 18 shots off target. We need to get shots on target. 4.85 XG, 7 corners, 90% pass completion, 65% possession. As you see, absolutely dominated, and it was a good win for us. Really did like that. Then we played Barcelona in the Champions League group phase at home. The 2-1 win, a penalty from Christian Spahu and a goal from Aladdin Sahin with another Espinosa assist. He's starting to chip in with his assists now. They did go 1-0 up through Wanner in the 23rd minute. And as you can see from stats, we were the better team. 5 shots on target to their 1. 2.21 XG compared to their 0.90. 91% pass completion and 55% possession. We were the better team. Sahin, Spahu, Espinosa and Zirius seemed to be our better players in that game. Rios was a bit disappointing, to be fair. Then we played Darmstadt, one of the newly promoted teams, away from home, and a narrow 1-0 win in this game. Juan Rios with the goal after 72 minutes. Ricard Fontas picking up an injury. He's out for about 3 weeks. And he's been the subject of a lot of transfer talk as well. We'll get to the transfer news shortly. 7 shots on target to their 1. 2.43 XG to their 0.10. 63% possession. I'm going to say it again. We're just so wasteful. We really are. So that brings us up to speed on where we are game-wise. We now play Bayern Munich today in a Champions League game that doesn't really mean a great deal of anything, to be quite honest, because we're through to the next round. If you have a look at the Champions League table, we're currently second in the league. 7 wins from 7 games. We've been very, very good. Only 5 goals conceded, 20 goals scored, 21 points. We sit joint top with Manchester City. We could potentially finish as low as maybe 5th, but the fact is we're in the top 8, so I'm probably going to rotate for the game against Bayern Munich. I just don't see it as being that important, to be honest. But it'll be an opportunity to see some of the other players getting a run out as well. And yeah, we then have Freiburg in the league, which is the more important game. It's away from... Look at it, away. We're just... It feels like we're always playing away from home. It really does. And then the next game against Mainz, away from home. Then we have one home, one away, one home, couple of home games there. But I'd just love to know where we pick up all these home games because anyway, don't matter. Right, transfer news, because there has been a lot going on. Not a lot in terms of players in or out, but I'm going to go to the finance screen first because this is the reason why not a lot's been going on in terms of players coming in. We are £210 million in the red. We are hemorrhaging. I don't know where this money's going to because we fill our stadium every week. We have like a 75,000 seater stadium, something like that. Where are we? Home, 75,000. 62 against Barcelona in the Champions League. That's very low, actually, to play in Barcelona. That was just a friendly. Then we had 76,000, 81. So we do get a healthy attendance in our home games. But we're just hemorrhaging. And we're underspent by like £280,000 in the wage budget. So it's not like we're overspent on that. But as you can see here from the transfer budget, we had like 70 million in the transfer budget, but the board done what they've done before and they took all of it away from me. They left me with about 300,000. We've had a couple of players go out that's bumped that up to 890,000. But basically, we need to sell before we buy. Now, I'm not too worried about players going in or coming out, but Frederick Gaipo, who has wanted to leave, he's going to be going to AS Roma, 7% intermediary fee. We're going to get about 30 million in total for him, so that will go in the bank. And I don't doubt before the end of the season, the board will probably just take that anyway. I'm not looking at replacing him. I don't think we need to replace him. We've already got players like him that are unhappy because they're not getting game time. So with him leaving, that just means we've got one player less that's unhappy. Ricard Fontes wants to leave. Aladdin Sahin also wants to leave, but we're waiting for teams to come in with the right kind of offer. And when we look at the transfer business we've had actually going on, now Bayern Munich, I said in the intro, they basically want to buy my entire club. I've actually had to write it all down because I know it won't save it all in the game. But basically they first came in for Christian Spahu, and if we go to have a look at the actual squad, we'll be able to see them. So they came in for Christian Spahu with an offer of £66.5 million. Now, when I say £66.5 million, that wasn't the money they was offering up front. They were offering us a piddly little amount of money up front. The eventual deal would be £66.5 million. And that's the same for all of these as well, by the way. I rejected it because, his guide value is up to 68 million. To me, if you want Christian Spahu, you're going to need to give me around 100 million for him because I'm not selling him for less than that. Then they came in with Thiago Freitas, and the first bid they made for him was £54 million. Again, if we go and have a look at Freitas, he's been fantastic for us this season. 12 assists and 9 goals in 25 appearances. That is incredible. So yeah, £54 million was what they was prepared to offer us to begin with. Then they upped it to 72 million. I rejected that as well. And then they upped it to 89 million, and I rejected that as well. And again, even the 89 million, every offer they've given us has been well below, has been like a piddly amount of money up front with the rest of it in add-ons and instalments, and I'm not willing to do it. Give it to me all in one go, and I might consider it. The 89 million I may have considered if it was all in one go, but I'm not doing 25 million up front, 30 million in instalments and whatever else the rest might be. Then Bayern Munich, while they're doing all this, they then came in for one Rios. There's no way I was selling this boy. They came in with 64 million. Bear in mind, 82 to 91 million is his guide value. They came in with 64 million. Nope, rejected it. They then came back with 85 million, which at least it's within the guide value. Nope, rejected it. After that, they gave up on one Rios, and they then decided to make an offer for Raphael Bode. And he's 66 to 79 million. They offered me 74 million. So at least they're within the guide value. But again, no interest in letting him go unless you're offering me well over the guide value. It's worth mentioning with all these players, they were happy for me to reject the offer because the offer wasn't the club they would prefer to go to. And basically the clubs they prefer to go to were all in the Premier League. So it kind of shows we're progressing, the fact that they don't just jump at the chance of going to Bayern Munich. After Raphael Bode, we then had an offer for Granelli. Now, I was prepared to listen to these offers because he's more of a backup player for us. He's never really been a first teamer. As you see here, he's made 14 appearances this season. Only 4 of them have been starts. Last season, he made 20 appearances. Only 3 of them were starts. The season before that, 18 appearances. Only 8 of them were starts. So like I say, I was prepared to listen to offers, but they came in first of all with a £61 million offer, which is well below the asking price. And then they came in with an offer of 81 million, which is above the guide value, not the asking price, the guide value. But again, it was such a pitiful amount of money up front. It was something like £12 million up front. And then the rest of it's it. Bayern Munich, if you can't afford to give me the money for my players, then stop bidding for them. Because that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players they've tried buying off me over the course of about 10, 11 bids that they've made. And every bid they make as well is non-negotiable. So it's not like I can say, well, let's take this out and add this onto this and bump this up to that and whatever else. They're not willing to negotiate. It's just, this is what we're offering, take it or leave it. So I've left it. On top of that, we've had Manchester City have come in for bids for Fontas. Where's he gone in my lineup here? He's out injured at the moment, so he'd be down here. So Ricard Fontas, we've had offers come in from Manchester City. I want 70 million. The first offer they came in for was £36 million. And out of that £36 million, £8 million was what I'd be getting straight away. No, not a chance. Then they came in with 44.5 million. I think it then made it about 15 million up front. Nope, not prepared to accept that. Then they came in with an offer of 58 million. Nope, not prepared to accept that as well. So I'm standing my ground with all of these clubs that you give me what I want for them or you're not having them. It's as simple as that. I am well aware of the fact that he is actually got 1 year after this on his contract. So by the end of this season, if we've not won the Champions League and we're going to be doing another season with Borussia Dortmund, then we will need to consider selling him. But I am open to offers, but they've got to be the right offer. I have potentially lined up a replacement, but I'm only going to show you that if we end up signing him. So that's basically where we are in terms of the transfers and the finances. As you can see, Armin Ziris, I don't even think I've told you about him yet. He's had an offer. I think I'll just stop writing these offers down after a while. Ziris was wanted by Barcelona, 44 million rising to 83 million. And it's just a case of, no, I have no intention of selling him. He's a very good defender. He's a top quality defender, actually. He's an elite centre-back. You want him, you pay me the money for him. Then Ricard Fontes, another offer, this time from AS Roma for £49.5 million, plus there's like 5 million after. It's 24.5 million up front, with 54 million is what it rises to. So again, no, not interested in that. Right, that's all of that up to speed. I feel like I've been here forever describing all of these. Let's go over to the Matchday Centre for the first game of today's episode against Bayern Munich. Here we are then for the game against Bayern Munich, and we have got a slightly weaker team here than what we'd normally go with. Some of the changes have been made. Colombo starts in goal because Philip Oberle is currently out injured, and we don't have a goalkeeper to put on the bench. We just got to hope that he doesn't get injured. So yeah, he starts in goal. We have Carnevale left back, Espinoza right back. Rilin Gashi comes in for Kalinski to partner Ziris. Macagna instead of Sparhu, and Hamant instead of Bode, with Freitas also in the midfield. Buonanotte and Levi out wide. I've been playing Aladdin Sahin recently, but Levi comes in today, and Juan Rios up front. So let's get into the actual game itself. I'm going to be interested just to see how we do with several players missing today, because obviously Bayern Munich are an amazing. I mean, they've got Musiala up front, Wirtz, Beckhus, Jacob. We know about Jakubowski. They just have an insane team. They really do, and we are regularly winning the league over them. And it, like I say, it'd just be interesting to see how some of our more squad-related players actually perform. The likes of Gashi and Haman, you know, players like that. Colombo is their backup goalkeeper. Obviously, Colombo didn't have much choice because of Oberle getting injured, but hey-ho, it is what it is. And the fact that we've already qualified for the round of 16 anyway takes the pressure off. It means you can rotate a little bit, and it's not really that much of an issue if you don't win the game. Buonanotte with a corner. Ziris heads it in. That is kind of route one for us at a corner. Buonanotte to Ziris. Lovely. Thank you very much. 1-0. And of course, we are away from home. Hamant with the corner from the left-hand side goes towards the back post. And this time it's Rilin Gashi that's put it in. So pleased for the boy to get a goal. He is one of our wonder kid. I was going to say one of our wonder kid because Gaipo technically is one, but he's on his way out. But 2 shots on target, both from corners. And we've shown how dangerous we can be from corner kicks. And both centre-backs, Gashi and Ziris, with a goal. Buonanotte with an assist from the right-hand side. Hamant with an assist from the left-hand side. We have one final highlight of the half. It's going to be a Buonanotte free kick. Oh, and it's been pushed wide for another corner. I bet they're dreading corners against us. It'll be Hamant. No, it's going to be Freitas this time. Takes a free kick, goes towards the centre. And in the end, it's just gathered up nicely by Diogo Costa, the goalkeeper. And that is half-time. A nice, quick first half. We could actually do with quick halves, actually, because my theory is with how long the first part of this video went on for with the transfers and everything, that this could be a very long video. But start the second half, 10 minutes into it, there's still no highlights. One thing I might try actually against Freiburg, but if we're getting towards substitute o'clock anyway, so let's have a look. But with this, what I am looking at doing, see, this is the thing, we've got work ball into the box. I might have to look more into player instructions to start getting people to shoot less often or something like that, or take less risks or something, because I just don't know why we're so wasteful in front of goal. I really don't. But anyway, let's make a substitution. Hamant can come off and we bring on Granelli for him rather than bringing on Raphael Bode. We'll bring Granelli on. And then Erez Levi is looking a bit tired. I mean, I'm actually thinking of bringing Rios off for Aladdin Sahin and just moving Levi up top and Sahin on the right. Not just looking at it, that's what I've done. So there's the first two substitutions made. Oh, we've got an injury to Erez Levi. Right. Bit of a mix about it's going to be needed here. So Pierre Rutten can come and he'll go on the left. We move Buonanotte on the right and Sahin can go up top. Really didn't want another injury, to be quite honest, but we do have one. Here's another highlight. Espinosa with the throw into Rillian Gashi. He gives it to Ziris. We go back to Colombo in goal. I mean, at the moment, he's on for a clean sheet against Bayern Munich. They'll probably go to score now, I said that. But, you know, oh, that was a good ball to Buonanotte, but he just gives the ball to Bayern. I think he got a bit bored. Espinosa, same happens there. Espinosa gets the ball. Gashi, what are you doing? What are you doing? Not to Jakubowski. Musiala, but good save from Colombo and kept hold of the ball as well. That was the important thing. Right, final two substitutions incoming. I think what we're going to do is Kennedy Nar can come on for Macania and Caicedo can come on for Buonanotte, who's also looking a little bit tired. There's only going to be a couple of games, or a couple of days, between now and our next game against Freiburg. We have a free kick. Freitas with it on the edge of the box. Are you going to treat us to a direct free kick goal? Oh, it's over the bar. I never hold my hopes up too high with that kind of thing, but you never know. Once in a blue moon, you do get one. 5 minutes of time to be added on, and we're into the 6th minute now, or 7th minute. There you go. That is all she wrote. 4 shots on target. Not a great XG, to be fair. We just about dominated possession. And a 2-0 win against Bayern Munich away from home in the Champions League group phase. Lovely stuff. 8 wins from 8. We're currently top of the group. We may even finish top of the group. But either way, we are through to the next round. There is a possibility that Bayern Munich might drop down into here. But we'll have to wait and see. I'll bring you up to date on that just before we get into the game against Freiburg. Okay, so Champions League update. We have finished top of the table. Bayern Munich and Leipzig both qualify for the round of 16 automatically with us. Teams that are in the playoff stage, you've got the likes of Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, Arsenal, PSG, Fiorentina, AC Milan, Monaco are in there, Juventus. They're kind of the teams that if any of those can go out and we don't play them in the next round, that would be absolutely wonderful. Right, if we now have a look at the Bundesliga itself, we are top of the table. We're 2 points clear of Leipzig. Do they play today? No, they don't. Yes, they do. They play against Hoffenheim today at home. Bayern Munich are at home to Köln. But we're also going to keep an eye on Bayer Leverkusen because they are currently third in the league. They're only 3 points behind us. and Hertha Berlin currently fourth. Bayern Munich are in fifth place in the Bundesliga, 10 points behind us. They've got no games in hand either. So they are looking in a pretty precarious situation at the moment. And if we actually just have a look at Bayern Munich, at their schedule, I mean, look at this, 4 defeats in a row. They lost in the league to Leipzig, then they lost in the Champions League to Liverpool, then in the league to Schalke, and then obviously in the Champions League to us. They've got Köln today, a team that are 10th in the league. They are at home, they should win that. But then they've got a tough tie against Eintracht Frankfurt in the DFB Pokal quarter-final. They've not been on a particularly good form. A couple of defeats up here as well. They've had a poor season, Bayern Munich, and I'm quite happy with that. I don't mind them having a poor season. But like I say, Bayer Leverkusen, the team we do have to keep an eye on. They have been playing very, very well. They had a loss up here against Bayern Munich in the DFB Pokal. But in terms of the league, their last defeat in the league was again against Bayern Munich on the 4th of November. We're now on the 3rd of February. So it's been like 3 months since they last lost in the league. And out of those games, they've drawn a couple, or drawn one, but they've won everything else since. So they have been in very, very good form. We play Freiburg today, who are 7th in the league. They were 6th, but they've now dropped down to 7th. I'm not sure if Schalke won or what happened. But yeah, let's get into the game against Freiburg. It's a game we really could do with winning, I won't mind admitting. And we have made some changes to our team as well. We've also brought in Wade Osborne to our bench because of Oberle being injured. With the transfer window now closing, we've been able to re-register our squad. So I've been able to bring this guy in as a third choice goalkeeper. He's 17 years old. He's got 3-star potential. He's currently on 1-star. And yeah, I mean, he's better than having a central defender. He's better than putting Kennedy Nile or Rilling Gashi in goal, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So we've got Colombo in goal, Carnevale left back, Espinoza right back, Ziris and Kalinski restored together in the centre of defence, Sparhu, Freitas and Bode all together in the centre of midfield, Buonanotte and Aladdin Sahin out wide with Juan Rios up top. Erez Levi has recovered from his injury. He's not quite match sharp, hence the fact that he is on the bench. And Oberle is due back in like 6 days, and Ricard Fontas is out for another 2 to 3 weeks, really. So let's get into the game, and we need to register or give a squad number to this guy. I'm not giving him 13. We're giving 20. I never give 13 to anybody. I'm very superstitious in that respect. So yeah, let's get into it. Freiburg away. It's not going to be an easy game. This is one of those games that if we're not on it, we could easily slip up. I think they're playing a diamond formation. Yeah, they are. They're playing a diamond formation. Remember when we done that last season? I think I stuck with that too long. But they have a corner. They put the ball into the box. Ziris heads it away. Aladdin Sahin heads it further on. They have, of course, got Yusufa Makoku up top. FM Wonderkid, no less. And they still have the ball as part of this highlight. They're on the halfway line. They're out on the left-hand side. Can we win the ball back? Palacios is through. Gets a cross into the box. So that was a good save from Colombo. And thankfully, the highlight has ended because that was very close to us going 1-0 down there. Colombo making a very good close-range save. We've had a couple of shots at target, not deemed highlight worthy. And we're approaching the 20th minute mark. Yeah, that diamond formation we played last year, I think it's something we still got in our locker. We could still use it if need be. But I just think we're so much better suited to a 4-3-3 when you look at how good the players look in them positions. We're getting no highlights. We had that one highlight from Freiburg early on in the half. But we're a few minutes away from half time. And even though we do look like we've been the better team, that is it for the first half. So point finger, I'm not happy with your performance out there. Come on, we need to pick up a win here because Leipzig are currently, we're going to change this to, well, I was going to say to latest scores, but both highlights have been Freiburg. We've not had a single highlight in 55 minutes of action. That is concerning to me. I don't mind admitting. And I'm just going to change this to latest scores, just have a look at what is going on. So Leipzig are beating Hoffenheim 1-0. Bayern play later in the day. We don't need the stats down here necessarily. We have got them up here. But I think we will make a substitution. Who are we looking at? I mean, Buonanotte's been rubbish on that left-hand side. The problem we've got is who we bring in because neither Levi or Sahin can play out on that left-hand side. It's really Pierre Rutten or Moises Caicedo, Mateo Caicedo. So I think what we'll do, because Ricard Fontes obviously being injured, so we bring Caicedo in, see if he can give anything to us in that area. Rafael Boda's been disappointing. We're going to take him off and bring on Hamant and see if he can add some creativity to that central midfield area for us. Right, we have a corner. Carnevale takes it, puts the ball into the box. It's pinging around with people's heads. Can we get a touch on it? Spahu puts it back out to Carnevale. Oh, it's been blocked. Hamant tries to go out wide to Ziris. Ziris does eventually pick up the ball, but the highlight ends and then immediately restarts with a long ball up top. Aladdin Sahin picks up the loose ball. He's on this right-hand side. Can he get the ball into the box? We do like a cross. He's giving it to Espinosa, to Hamant. Puts a cross in towards Rios and Rios with his... Oh, the referee. It could be his 16th goal of the season, or it could most likely be ruled out by the referee because that's what he loves to do most. It's 1-0. He's given it. Oh, well done, referee. You are in my good books once again. Leipzig still 1-0 up against Hoffenheim. Let's look at what substitutions we might want to make. I'm careful not to weaken the team too much, but we could bring in... I don't know if I really want to make much by way of a substitution, to be quite honest. What I might do is bring Macania in for Kalinski, swap him and Spahu over, and have Spahu in as our centre-back. And that probably is going to be it for now. I was considering bringing Gashi on. But we have been the better team. There's no doubt about that. It's just a case of can we see this game out? And here's Carnevale now. I tried to find Mateo Caicedo, but couldn't. We win the ball back again. Aladdin Sahin has it now. Finds Hamant. Carnevale, I thought he was going to go forward, not backwards. Here's Espinosa. Hamant. Caicedo, is he going to do anything with it? Pulls it back for Carnevale to Hamant. Oh, and it's gone wide. Richie Hamant thought he was going to get a goal for us there, but wasn't quite to be. Right, we're going to make probably a final two. Espinosa can come off for Kennedy now because he's looking rather tired. And Freitas can come off for Granelli. And I think what I might do as well is drop this down to balanced as we pretty much aim to just see out the match. Are we going to get punished, though, by a late Freiburg goal? 6 minutes of injury time to be added on, and we have a highlight. Colombo gets the ball and gives it to Ziris. He finds Granelli to Caicedo, who cuts inside and eventually gets the ball to Hamant. To Aladdin Sahin. It's 2-0. 7th goal of the season from Aladdin Sahin. We've picked up the win against Freiburg, folks. We're keeping our position at the top of the table. Leipzig still very much hot on our heels, though, as you can see. But now we've got the win. We remain 2 points ahead of them. We could do with Bayer Leverkusen dropping some points in their game, but that was a dominant performance, I have to say. I mean, Freiburg did have the best of the highlights, I'd say, at least for the first hour of the game. But our quality shone through in the end. Well done, lads. I am very happy about that. Just to bring you one other bit of news as well. Gaipo has completed his transfer. He is now moved and gone to AS Roma for 34.5 million. It does mean our overall balance is improved slightly. We've got £24 million in the transfer budget. The transfer window has closed. We can't spend it. And we do have £347,000 a week left in the wage budget. So we're doing everything that we can do. And yeah, if we have a look at the schedule in terms of when we're going to come back tomorrow, I think what we're going to do is we're going to come back for the Champions League round of 16 second leg game against whoever we're going to be playing. I'm not going to do the Bayern Munich game because unless things change drastically, I think Bayer Leverkusen are going to be our nearest rivals out of these two games. So we'll come back for the Champions League round of 16 second leg game and Bayer Leverkusen in the league. At least we know this one's going to be a home tie. So that will be in tomorrow's episode. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Bye-bye.